This show does not intend to sell, promote, or encourage the use of psilocybin mushrooms or any other plant medicine mentioned on this program. All mentioned experiences are for education and entertainment purposes only. All right. Well, guess it's been what, a year and some change since I've done an episode. Welcome to the Truth Serum Show. Okay, we got to get that back. You see, we're a little dry because we hadn't done it in a while. I'm excited to be back. Today's episode is going to be about the truth about solo traveling. As most of you guys know, I have been traveling the world since I have, ushered myself into the world of being an empty nester, as well as getting through everything to do with my empty nest syndrome. Okay. I have been using traveling as a form of therapy. Okay. And so for the last 30 days, I have been in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Well, I'm not going to say tomorrow will make 30 days. So today's actually the 29th day. Okay. So I'm going to just give you guys my rundown, my 29 days in Punta Cana. This is my journey of freedom as well as growth and self-discovery. Okay. So what I want to go over first is just getting back into the scope of things. Okay. So your girl hope that this is going to be not another year before I bring you guys another episode. I plan to stay more consistent. Okay. And I thought, what better day to do it? Not only on my last day of being in Punta Cana. Okay. Before I leave and go on to other travels, I'll let you guys know where I'm going next. Okay. Because we got a lot to catch up on. Even though I'm doing this episode, I don't know if it's going to be the comeback episode because I still haven't told you guys about Oaxaca and my 6 months being in Oaxaca. So this may be episode 4. This may be episode 5. So regardless of what, range that you see it in, just know that your girl is back into the, spaces of wanting to just, tell all the truth that there is as it relates to me and the things that I have had going on. So y'all know this podcast is just, it's my life, right? It's things that I love, the things that I'm testing out, my failures, my success, all those things are wrapped up into one big old bubble that is the Truth Serum. Okay. So I still have to catch you guys up on my 6 months in Oaxaca. We will definitely get an episode and talk about that. But let's talk about the 29 plus 30 days of being in Punta Cana. Okay. 29 days alone in a country I have never been to before, in a place where the language sounded familiar, the people looked familiar, but felt completely foreign at the same time. Okay. 29 days of figuring it all out, figuring out how to find myself, feeling it out, all those things, everything just was going within process. Okay. I want to give you the real, unfiltered, honest experience of what it looks like, okay, to pack up, show up, spend a month alone in uncharted waters, the good, the challenging, the funny, the frustrating, and the deeply transformative. Okay. So grab you a drink, okay, or a smoke or whatever allows you to tap into your truth. Okay. Get that because we're getting ready to really get into it. Okay. All right. So let's start out where I'm laying my head every night, because this one is important for anybody thinking about doing long-term solo traveling and staying anywhere abroad. Okay. So I booked an Airbnb in Punta Cana. And let me just say this clearly and honestly. The pictures on the listing were not of the unit I stayed in. Okay. The photos were of a completely different unit, which was my first lesson, always doing more research and asking more questions before I book. Okay. Now, I didn't even really want to do the 30 days. Okay. I wanted to do more like 20 days and then maybe go do another part of Dominican Republic. But this was what seemed like was closest to the beach or the downtown area. Now it is in downtown Punta Cana, but it is not, it is away from the beach. Okay. So there's no walking to the beach from here, which are all things that I thought, but it was close to a grocery store and also close to things that I felt were familiar. So I thought it would be the better bet out of the other ones that I was looking into, but I felt pressured into doing the 30 days. Okay. So Next time, rule of thumb for myself and for you, if you feel pressured about something, the answer probably is no. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'm sitting in the Airbnb, so it's not like a complete failure. Okay. But these pictures was not the pictures that was on Airbnb. Okay. This foliage that you see over here, there was all kind of other aesthetics that I thought would be really great to add to my 30 days of being here. Okay. On top of the fact, they had board games that are not here. Now, I know the question is, well, if you solo traveling, who's going to do board games with? Myself. Because I'm learning how to discover and be with myself. So I wanted the board games, okay? Board games were not here, okay? There was a rug that was on the Airbnb. Rug is not here, okay? And, again, all the things that I thought that was going to be a part of this experience is not of this experience, but it's okay. You got to learn how. That's one thing too. You have to learn about solo traveling, definitely traveling overseas. You got to be able to roll with the punches. Okay. Sometimes things are not going to go, end out exactly the way that you thought, or sometimes things are not as clear as they appear online. You have to be able to pivot. Okay. So I am a master at pivoting at things, okay? Now, when I arrived, the unit was not as clean either, okay? Not the way I expected to be. The walls were a little dingy, okay? There was no real love put into this space at all, okay? So I quickly realized that I was not in my normal luxury situation of what I would normally get because the picture said luxury. This definitely says college dorm room, okay? Like you get what you get, okay? So I would give it a 2.5 out of 5, okay? And I'm being generous, okay? Because there was a lot of things that I had to do, okay? But here's what I want you to know. I made do, okay? I adjusted, I channeled my English college student energy, okay? And I made the space work for me. It was like living in a dorm room all over again, like I said earlier, okay? And honestly, it made me be a little bit more humbled, okay, in the best ways possible. Because solo traveling is not always going to be glamorous. Sometimes it's going to be a little gritty, and you got to understand it, okay? The question is whether or not you can show up for yourself regardless, okay? Or anyway, can you do it regardless of the situation? Or are you a person that crumbles under pressure? Now, I have been, okay? I have been a person that crumbled under pressure before, but your girl about to be 47 in, what, today is the 23rd? In 22 days, okay? I'm about to be 47. So I've learned how not to crumble under pressure, okay? So the lesson here, when you're booking long-term stays abroad, always ask for photos of the exact unit, or even ask, is that the unit that I'm staying in? Okay. Am I the pictures of that are being shown for this unit? Is that the unit of the actual place where I'm going to be? Okay. Read every review, be prepared to be flexible because the experience of being there is bigger than the room that you sleep in. Okay. It's you're channeling some other things, some other thoughts are being able to come through. And because of that, you got to understand that the universe is going to always take care of you. That is my motto. The universe is always taking care of me. So regardless if things are not exactly as I thought, they're exactly what I need. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Even though things may not be exactly what I thought, they're always exactly what I need. All right. Now, the next segment, the language barriers. Okay. Now let's talk about the language barriers because one gave me both frustration and some of my best memories from this trip. Okay. So I do speak Spanish, poquito. I do a little bit. Okay. Now, even though I speak Spanish a little bit, I felt comfortable going in, but what I didn't fully prepare for was that Dominican Spanish and Mexican Spanish, two different things. Okay. Dominican Spanish is very fast. All right. When I mean very fast, I'm like really fast, like no slow down. Like, but I felt like I was in a whirlwind. I felt like I was having whiplash every single time I had to deal with something. Okay. I would be standing there listening and understanding or attempting to understand like every maybe other third, fourth word that was coming in, nodding and smiling, hoping that I was agreeing to the right thing or saying yes to the right thing. I don't know. Your girl don't know. And that's another good thing about me. Okay. I'm always doing something crazy and I'm gonna always commit to it. Okay. I'm gonna commit fully, even though I'm not sure about what's actually happening. I felt like a fish out of water. so many times, okay? And I'm somebody who does not like feeling like that, okay? I cannot communicate. It frustrates me. And part of this whole experience, it really put more fire under me of figuring out ways in which I can learn the language, okay? Because I don't care what nobody say. Them doggone phone apps, okay? The doggone melting owl or whatever it is, whatever. All of them, they don't work for me, okay? They've never worked for me. I need conversational Spanish. I need things to be a conversation in order for me to pick them up. So I'm gonna figure out the best ways for me to be able to internalize Spanish so that I can get better at it. Because if you can know Spanish and you know French, you can go anywhere in this world and you'll be fine. Okay. The other languages will come, but those two are what majority of the world speak. Okay. Outside of English, okay, which is a trash language, but Spanish and French, you got those. Okay. You got it. Okay. Now, regardless of the fact that it was so fast and I felt frustrated in the fish out of water, I still kept trying. Okay. Every single day I went out, I kept trying. Now, one of my favorite moments from me trying was my favorite ice cream shop. Okay, now Buns called Bun Helados. Bun Helados ice cream is the best. 10 out of 10. Do you hear me? I would recommend. Please, if you see a Bun Helados anywhere in the world, you should try it because it was great. Okay, better than Haagen-Dazs, okay, or Ben and Jerry's that we know in the States. It was better than all of that. Okay, I walked into the thing because I knew what I was ordering. Okay, because it's my favorite ice cream no matter where I go, which is dulce de leche. Okay, now even though I thought I knew what was going on, this pronunciation is different. Okay, the one behind the counter had no idea what I was saying when I said I need dos pintas of dulce de leche. Okay, she got the dos pintas right. She knew I wanted two, pints of it, right? But she didn't know, she was calling out all these other things, right? And instead of me getting frustrated or whatever, I just opened my phone because I had already had the buns helados place up. I had all the ice creams already on there. I was already ready for this experience because I was getting this ice cream regardless. Okay, so even though she could not understand, I kept saying it, and she kept looking at me, and I kept saying it louder, and that didn't make it. No matter how loud you get in Spanish, that don't mean that they can understand you. Okay, so I kept doing that. It wasn't working. So finally, I just pulled out my phone and showed her the words, and her face lit up because then she knew exactly what I wanted. Okay. Then she goes on to pronounce it, right? So where I'm saying dulce de leche, right? She said dulce de leche, dulce. Okay. Now again, I said dulce de leche, wrong, dulce. Okay, so I'm learning. You see, your girl, even now, can you hear dulce de leche versus dulce? It just wasn't right. Okay, so her and I looked at each other and we both started laughing. We had a moment or whatever, but in that moment, not only was I excited about the fact that we were able to at least communicate, I had a way to translate and get that to her. The ice cream, the Dos Pintas, okay, was 50% off. Okay, so where I'm used to going in and spending 500 pesos, okay, is how much it is for 500 pesos. And we'll talk about the money currency thing in a minute. But I paid 500 pesos. It wasn't, it was like 225. I was like, this is great. Okay, now this moment right here, the two women from two completely parts of the world finding each other, laughed over ice cream. This is magic. Okay. Now, if you are a woman that like ice cream like me, then you understand what I'm talking about here. Okay. This is the truth of traveling, solo traveling, and putting yourself out there. Sometimes you do it wrong, but sometimes it ends up right. And I wind up leaving. Okay. With those pink days of dulce, dulce de leche. Okay. Not I can't even say it right. What I said the first time, dulce de leche. Dulce de leche is what I said the first time, but it's dulce de leche. So you see what I'm saying? Just different pronunciation, but it still works regardless. All right. Now, the food. Let's talk about this food. Okay. Because let me be honest with y'all. Most of y'all already know this, but your girl is from Tallulah, Louisiana. Okay. I grew up on flavor. not just flavor, bold, seasoned, layered, you know, come on. This spice, okay? Cayenne pepper, okay? Little sweet in there, okay? Little brown sugar and mixed in with it. Girl, I'm used to things tasting the way that they need to taste, okay? And what I quickly came to find out is that, and I'm gonna say this with a little bit of a but to it because I do recognize that I am in one of the touristy parts of Dominican Republic, and it could be the fact that I'm in the wrong area. That's what it could be. Okay, I don't know that to be true, or I don't know the deals of it. Okay, what I do know is girl don't like their food. Okay, I didn't really like it because the seasoning was just not there for me. Okay, now I want you to understand that I came in with an open heart and a willingness in my stomach. I even took some stuff to coat the stomach to make sure I don't get food poisoning. That's another thing. I have never gotten food poisoning in my solo travels, but that's also because I make sure I do things to make sure that I don't. Okay. I coat my intestinal lining. Okay. I drinks the ginger. Takes a lot of ginger. We're gonna talk about that because these are all things that allow you to be more open, okay, and more ready for the things that comes with having a palate that's ready. Okay. And even though that was the case, it just wasn't for me. It wasn't for my palate, okay? Everything felt underseasoned to me. And I kept thinking about my spice cabinet back at the house. I was like, and I brought some things. Now I brought some cayenne. Your girl never travels without cayenne because cayenne is also a savior if you are a person that could be suffering from some type of heart condition or about to have a heart attack. Just a little touch of cayenne pepper, boom, life saved. So I don't travel without it. So I added that where I needed to, but it still just didn't give me the kick and the things that I really wanted from the food. Wasn't really a fan of it, okay? But what I do love, I just told y'all, bun helados. Oh my goodness, okay? If you ever come to the Dominican Republic or get anywhere close within where a bun helados is, okay, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and eat bun as much as you can, okay? As humanly possible, I need you to consume the ice cream because it is a solid 10, okay? No debate. I'm an ice cream connoisseur, so you can't argue with me on this, okay? Now, I'm willing to do some more travels and find more ice cream that I can compare it to, but right now, Bun Helados is number one on my ice cream top list. Top ice cream in the world to me right now, okay, is Bun Helados. Now, we haven't even fully had a conversation about Mexico and all their food because Mexico food cuisine, now I see why people like Mexican food. Because I hate Mexican food from the States, but that's not Mexican food. Now that I've lived in Mexico for 3 years, Mexico, listen, you put me anywhere near Bday, okay? And I'm finna tear some stuff down. I love Mexican food. The spices there, okay? The way they cook and they marinate. Oh, so great. But the ice cream is good. All those is one of their ice cream brands, and I actually love it. I like they have the different flavors. All that is great. But they still cannot top Bun Helados, okay? Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it, okay? Now, another thing that I love here, okay, is I discovered that they have a ginger beer. It is the right amount of strong. Okay, it is great. I drunk so many of them. Okay, definitely a fan of the ginger beer. Okay, it's great. Okay, and then another thing that I come to find out about here in Punta Cana is they are hot dog people. Okay. Now I did not expect to fall in love with a hot dog in Dominican Republic, but here we are. Here I am telling the story. Okay. Now they do hot dogs differently. And when I mean different, I mean different. Okay. And it's different in the best possible way. I come to find out. I didn't know that when I was just ordering it. Okay. Now, they layer their hot dogs up with everything. And when I mean everything, I'm talking about I had one that had chili, it had cabbage, had ketchup, it had mustard, it had relish, and mayo. Now, I was a little bit of questioning that thing. As a matter of fact, when I ordered the hot dog, I told them to hold the mayo. But when they sent the hot dog, they didn't hold the mayo. I guess it was like, what you talking about? You finna get this the way we eat it. And I went on ahead and said, you know what, Gigi? if the ancestors and the gods have sent you the hot dog this way, we're gonna do it this way. Okay. So we did. We consumed it. Okay. And I took one bite and it was incredible. Okay. I even questioned the fact of cabbage being on there. It was so many things I questioned. I was like, is this gonna tear my stomach up? None of that. None of that happened. Maybe it's because they layered the way they layered. I don't know. All I know is I'm a fan of Dominican and the way they do their hot dogs. Okay. I will come back to do their hot dogs. Okay. Because sometimes the things you least expect end up being the best surprises of the trip. And that hot dog being layered was one of them. Okay. The food lesson. Come with an open mind. You might not love everything. Okay. But you will find there will be things that will be right up your alley, things that you will enjoy. Okay. The things that you may intake that you don't even expect, okay, will completely surprise you. Trust me when I say that. All right. Now, let's talk a little bit about the shopping and the money. Okay. Now, the money situation, okay, because I know this is something that a lot of people wonder when they're thinking about traveling to DR and just traveling to countries in general. Okay, so the exchange rate here, roughly 100 Dominican pesos. Let me say that because Mexican pesos are different. Roughly 100 Dominican pesos is like close to $2. Okay, so your money goes a lot further. Just think about double, goes double here than being at home. All right. Now, when you think about the Mexican peso, okay, 100 pesos is $5. Okay, so you see how 2 to 5, yeah, you're getting a little bit, okay, as it relates to those things. Now, when it comes down to how I was able to navigate the exchange, it was pretty easy. I've always have an exchange currency calculator on my phone, so I know exactly what it is that I'm doing or what I'm expected to see. Like if I'm drawing money out the ATM, I'll know exactly what I should be seeing, the range amount. Now, you always have to take in consideration that, sometimes the banking systems have their own conversion rates too, so it might be a little bit different than what you're expecting, but it should be in and around that. Okay. Now, the one of the mistakes I made when I got to the doggone airport, okay, I decided to exchange the money just a little bit so I can kind of see what was happening. I gave them $60, okay, and I only got back 2,800 pesos. Now, that ain't right. That's not what I should have got, okay? I should have got more than that. Okay. Definitely should have got more based on my conversion rate. But their conversion rate at the airport was trash. Would never recommend, never do that again. Don't exchange money at the airport, at the country where you at. Exchange money if you can at the bank, in the US, or find an exchange currency place that may be great. Or, that's the thing. You don't necessarily have to have cash. That's one thing too about international travel. Like they're getting to the point to where now they're starting to accept tarjeta, okay, in Spanish, cards, all right. And if they do, you can use that. And there is no, make sure that when you do use your card, instead of you using USD currency, you want to use the currency where you are. Okay. So here in Punta Cana, in Dominican Republic, the currency is DOP, Dominican pesos. Okay. In Mexico, it's just Mexican pesos. All right. So you want to make sure that, and they always have that on the card reader that you're reading. They'll say, do you want to use it USD? You want to do it in DOP. USD is going to always be more, okay, than where you currently are. Okay. And what I found out is that some banks will not charge you a conversion rate if you select the actual currency of where you are versus using the USD. All right. Now, discovering some of the local stores. One of the stores that I really, really love is Unidos. Unidos is like a hybrid. It's like part grocery store, part home goods, all in one. And if you're doing long-term stays and you need to stock up on supplies, this is definitely going to be the spot. The store was clean, nice. They had all the fruits, all the vegetables. They had even, I found crawfish. Not in none, but I found some crawfish in there. I was like, now tell me you got some Louisiana people over here without telling me you got some Louisiana people over here, okay? But Dominican Republic is also heavy on Haitians, and Haitian food and Creole food is very close. Very right there, okay? As a matter of fact, a lot of Haitians And people from Louisiana have Haitian bloods. I have been told I got Haitian roots. I'm gonna find out. We're gonna stay tuned to what that is, okay? But I found crawfish in the store, and I was like, okay, yeah, they own it. They know exactly what's happening. But you will love Unidos. It is a two-level store. The top has like furniture, okay, couches, okay, stuff to redecorate your bathrooms. All that stuff's on the top level. Bottom level is a mixture grocery store, and then home good stuff like stuff to clean, tissue, all that kind of stuff. And then they also have like, power drills, tools, that kind of stuff for, repairs. Okay. All that is there. Now I found out that most of the stores here are like that. Another store I really like is Long, which is next door to my apartment that I'm staying in. And if I had to describe it, it's a little bit more like a large Family Dollar store slash Dollar General slash Dollar Tree situation, right? Very Asian mart. Okay. You can tell most of this stuff is from China, made in China. Okay. But they got everything. When I say everything, I actually took some video and I'm going to put that in here so you guys can see. Like, I mean, they got the juicers, they got the donut makers, they got everything that's in there. Okay. Now, if I was definitely going to be here, I would be getting a lot of stuff from over there because I am a gadget junkie. I love gadgets, especially like kitchen gadgets, girl. Listen, I want all of them. I want the bread makers. I want the ice cream makers. I want all of that because that's the type of person I am. That's the kind of energy I like. I like home good stuff. So love Longs, love Unidos, and then Olay, which is their grocery store. Now it was also good too. Now it is a little bit more locally as far as like where you would go and like to just get breads, eggs, all that kind of stuff. So that's where I went to get like anything that I needed for the house as far as like cooking and that kind of stuff, like food to eat. I went to Olay to get, and Unidos. I got stuff from Unidos too. Okay. Now let's talk about the people. Because I ain't trying to make this long. I'm trying to use the daylight. So I'm not having to use any type of, artificial light and I'm running out of time. But the people, okay. Now this section always end up being the heart of any travel story. And this is no different. Okay. I met two beautiful women that were from Poland or Holland. I can't remember. I want to say from Poland. That sounds better, feels better. Okay. During my time here, they were so warm and so open. They were also here for work, and then they also live in the building. I think they're actually here too until this month. So they should be leaving in maybe a couple days if they haven't left already. Okay. There's something about being a solo traveler that makes you so magnetic, okay, when it comes down to other people who are also here from other countries. You recognize each other, you gravitate towards each other. Those connections reminded me that the world is so much smaller and so much kinder than the news will have us to believe, okay? Because they always pit us against each other. They always say, don't talk to people, okay? Or people are weird and strange. And that's true. People are weird and strange. But one of the things that I have really come to find out about myself is that I'm always pulling and attracting people who are have some type of like-mindedness when it comes down to me. Okay. And don't mean that we are 100% alike, but there are a lot of things that we have in common. Okay. And usually that is usually what that is the appreciation for the cultures that we are living in, being in, the respectability politics. Okay. That's something I tend to find a lot within people that I attract or people that I meet. And I'm grateful to have met them. Like we would always meet on the outside at night, like, or in the daytime, I would go out and just kind of sit outside and absorb the sun. Or if I'm, having me a little smoke or meditative, time or whatever, they would be outside doing the same. So it was really great that I got a chance to meet them and have the warm energy. Okay. Now, in addition to them, I also met two Black men. Okay. That were from the States. Okay. Now, one of the brothers was from New Jersey. Okay. Now, he owns the condo next to me. Now, when I'm meeting him I think a day before he was getting ready to leave, he's an Aries. Now, y'all know part of this segment is me to talk about this from an astrological perspective. I have to bring those in. Now, I didn't ask the two ladies what their signs were, but I did ask the men, okay? Because I needed to know. I needed to know what the energy was. So he's an Aries. He's been coming to Dominican Republic for like 15 years, and he finally decided to invest in the condo, I think like 4 or 5 years ago. His condo is beautiful. I also have video footage of that. I would also put into the segment too, so for you guys to see. And he comes back and forth, a few months. He's supposed to be coming back in April, whatever, but he wound up taking me out the day before he got ready. No, he actually took me out the day that he was getting ready to leave. I met him the day before he left, and then the day that he was leaving, we actually went out. And he was the first person that took me to Unidos. And he was like, "You gotta see this store. You're gonna love this store." So we went out to eat. We went to Donna Publa and had some food, which was great again. Flavors wasn't there, but it was all right. But then we went to Unidos. It was great. He wound up, being a gentleman, asking what I needed, which I had already bought majority of the stuff. So he wound up like getting me some more water, and I forgot to like get a few seasons and stuff that I needed for the cooking that I was gonna do. He got me all those things. So he was also a 10 out of 10. The women was 10 out of 10. He was a 10 out of 10. Okay. We are still in contact. He's supposed to be coming back in April. His birthday is, and he's an April Aries. So we're supposed to be linking back up later. Kudos to you. I'm not gonna put your name on here, so just in case you get a chance to see this, I don't know what your business is. I don't know if you got a woman or not, okay? But you said you didn't, but you might, okay? So that ain't for me to tell. Just know that I appreciate you for taking me out and being a part of my experience. Now, the second black man that I met was from South Carolina by way of DC. Okay. Now, him and I didn't get a chance to really spend a lot of time together. We spent one day that I thought was very, very meaningful for me, which was we connected, on the ways of music. I got a chance to share some music with him. He helped me to reactivate that and remind myself that I got to get back in my music bag. I got to get back into my writing bag. So we shared music. We had some good time conversating. He shared music with me too, some music that he'd been working on with other people. So our plans are to definitely meet back up, whether it be here in I said Mexico, here in Punta Cana or Dominican Republic or somewhere else in the world. We definitely plan to link back up and do some music together. If nothing else, we plan on doing those things. Okay, but they were definitely very special. Everybody that I met was special, and I really appreciate. Okay, the people that you meet when you travel alone are different from the people that you meet when you're in a travel group. Okay, when you are alone, you are more open. You are more sensitive to what's happening too. You have to be, and when it comes to you in that openness, that can change the entire direction of the ways that you're thinking and the things that you're experiencing. So I'm grateful to have had that experience with them. Just grateful to them just being a part of, like, showing up, right? Like, one of the things I said I wanted to make sure that I was attracting in my solo travels are black men who have passports. Okay. Now, not for the sake of trying to get married and run down the aisle, none of them kind of things. But I just feel like black men in general who have passports that are well traveled have a little bit more thinking. They're a little broader in how they think because they are meeting different people. They're forced to be in certain situations, and because of that, they are learning how to adapt. They're learning how to survive, okay, and thrive. Not just in survival mode, but they're learning how to thrive. And meeting these two black men taught me that they are definitely in states of thriving. They are not only surviving in the world, but they are thriving. Okay, so grateful to both of you guys. Oh, I forgot. The guy that's from South Carolina by way of DC, he's a Capricorn, okay? Born on January 1st. Okay, so you know how Capricorns are money, okay? So he told me about him, selling his businesses, and now he's in the state of looking where he wants to retire. So he was also told me that he had put down for I think he's actually getting ready to buy something here as well. So I was totally inspired that they both are investing into Dominican Republic, because one thing about Dominican Republic is black. Okay, it is black, black. When I mean black, black, I mean everywhere you go is black. There is some Mexican looking Dominican Republics here, but most of the people I saw was black men in all shapes and sizes. That's what I should have started. I should have started off with saying that everybody here is fine. All of the Dominican people is fine. The women, the men, the grandmamas, they all fine. Okay, they all good. They all good. And I enjoyed that. But because we had the language barrier thing, I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable trying to shoot my shot with nobody. It wasn't what it needed to be. I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. So I got a chance to have my experiences where I needed them to be, and I'm grateful. Now, I'm running out of light. And because I am, I want to get to the deepest part of the segment, okay? The real reason why I'm recording this episode on the last day before I fly out tomorrow is because I need to say this while I'm still here and while I'm still in it, okay? While the air still feels different, while my nervous system is still quiet and my heart is still open. 29 days alone has taught me something, okay? It taught me something I already knew but needed to be reminded of, and that is I need silence. I need rest. I need to center my heart space, and I need to listen to what is actually being said without the noise of anyone else or everything else, okay? And the expectations drowning that part of me out, okay? Being here, I had to constantly resist the urge to be productive. That was very hard for me. I'm somebody who moves, who creates, who does. I am action oriented all the time. Okay. I'm somebody that recognizes now that I need to be sitting still a lot more than I need to be moving, because sitting still feels uncomfortable for me at first. I have been practicing it. Okay. Allow myself to just be without thinking about what I need to accomplish, what I need to do, okay, about what is wrong or what needs to be right, any of those things, okay? So regardless of what kept popping up and trying to force me to be productive, I kept choosing stillness, okay? I kept choosing stillness every single day. Every day, I kept choosing rest over productivity, okay? Stillness over movement and listening over talking. All right. And what came out of this was clarity. This whole journey of being by myself for 29 days gave me more clarity than it has ever given me in any other place that I have ever been. Okay. Clarity about who I am when nobody is watching, about who I am, who I want to be, and how I show up when I'm completely alone in uncharted waters, okay? About what I actually want versus what I have been programmed to do for this world. This trip was a nervous system reset, and I needed it. I needed it more than I needed. I needed it more than I knew that I needed it. Okay. Moving forward, my focuses are resetting my nervous system and eating in ways that always nourish me, which I've always been doing, but I'm even more conscious of this now. Not just physically, but spiritually and emotionally too. Solo traveling is not just about the destination and getting on the beach and excursions and all those things. It's about what the destination reveals about you and who you are. Okay. Punta Cana showed me that I am braver than I give myself credit for, that I can figure things out. I can be scared and I could do it scared anyway. Okay. That I can be uncomfortable and that I can keep going. That rest does not equal laziness, okay? That silence is not emptiness, and that being alone is not the same as being lonely, okay? If you've been ever thinking about solo traveling, I want you to hear me and hear me clearly. All right, do it. Start somewhere. It does not have to be 29 days in another country, okay? You got to be crazy and foolish as me, right? You can be, and I can help you if you want the help, okay? Help looks like me just sharing what I'm doing now, all right? But it can also be a weekend, okay? Alone, by yourself, doing something new. You don't have to wait on anyone else to do this. If I had to wait on the people who told me that they were going to be traveling with me, which started when I was 40, I wouldn't be going anywhere. Okay. I am 7 years into this. 40, my 40th birthday was my first time going to another country by myself. And it was supposed to be with somebody, it was supposed to be with one of my lovers, one of my poly lovers. And his wife said that he couldn't go. And because she said that he couldn't go, I wound up going by myself. Now I'm grateful that I wound up going by myself. But I want you guys to understand that it is important for you to take the leap, even when you are unsure about it, even when you feel like you're scared or that other people were supposed to do this with you. Okay. Do it anyway. All right. Please. Again, start with a weekend alone, somewhere new, somewhere that you've always wanted to visit. But give this gift to yourself, okay? Which is your own company. And I promise you, you're going to be surprised what you find out about yourself. You're going to be so happy that you decided to choose you in that way, which is to be by yourself and do things by yourself, not on somebody else's time clock or feeling like the need that you got to go and do something or got to go and spend money. You ain't got to do that. Set a budget, okay? First things first, set a budget. Buy the plane ticket, okay? Buy the plane ticket first. Once you buy the plane ticket, go on Airbnb, okay? When you go on Airbnb, look at things that are in your price range, okay? When you look and find things that are in your price range, then look and see what is in and around areas where you can have easy access, which is like grocery stores or pharmacies. These things are important because when you're solo traveling, you don't have anybody that you can, necessarily call. And another thing I want to speak to, always get travel insurance if you're going to travel alone. Why? Most travel insurance also incorporate you if you ever have to go to the emergency room or you have to consult a doctor for anything. Most travel insurance policies include that. Now I want you to make sure that the travel insurance that you're buying does say that. But my travel insurance is on the airlines that I used to travel to, always say that it includes that. So when you find an Airbnb, look for close proximities to things, okay? Things that are familiar to you if possible. If not, don't let that also be a thing that stops you. Do it anyway, all right? And again, you're going to be surprised. Surprise, surprise. You turn into a new person. Now, we're going to wrap this up so that y'all can see the light. And I would have to now use the ring light. And I don't want to use the ring light, okay? So we're going to close this up. I want to say thank you guys for your patience. I want to say thank you for being a part of my journey and being willing to listen and being willing to just uh be there even when you like, what is Gigi up to? Gigi don't even know what she up to sometimes. Okay. Sometimes I am just testing things out. And because I am testing things out, sometimes I'm being present in the moment. And I've recognized that I am not someone who wants to produce content for the sake of other people. I want to produce content for myself. And I want you guys that are interested to enjoy that content that I've created for myself. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for being a part of the Truth Serum, being one of the truth seekers. I want to also mention that I did have a cup of shroom tea, courtesy of Fifth House Venus. Okay. I started my tea this morning with the full moon eclipse in Virgo, and I have been drinking from that tea bag all day. Okay. So even though I am not soaring as I was earlier today, I am still on a zero point 0.5 microdose, okay, of Rosa tea, which again I got from Fifth House Venus, courtesy of Comfort. So if you're interested, please send her a message and let her know your girl Gigi sent you, okay, to get all of your microdosing needs. I recorded this for you and myself, you meaning Gigi, me, okay, and for you, okay, from Punta Cana on my last day here. And I'm so grateful that I did because I wanted you to feel this energy with me. I want you guys to be a part of this with me. And I wanted to do it before I left and continue my excursion. So this is going to be how I'm going to do this, okay? Part of the merger of what's going on. Like if I'm not able to do an episode every week, as which I was doing it before, then I plan to at least do it every month, okay? Or when I know I'm going through experiences that I want to share. I'm going to catch you guys up on the time periods I did not share. So we're going to talk about Oaxaca because what? I love Oaxaca so much. Okay. The goddamn food. Okay. The hiking. Okay. The amazing murals and the amazing people and my amazing tour guide, Victor, which was also my photographer. I had such a great experience. So stay tuned for that episode. Again, thank you guys for being here with me. I appreciate you guys for just staying connected. Again, like I said, if this episode resonate with you, please make sure you share with somebody who you feel like needs to hear, especially if you know someone who's been wanting to solo travel and wants to knock the nerves off. Okay. Also, please, something I don't necessarily ask you guys to do, but please, leave me a review. Okay. Follow the show if you're not already following the show. If somebody just sent this to you and you happen to be watching me for the first time, or you watching this clip on Instagram, okay, on the Truth Serum Instagram. Please give us a follow, give us a holler, let us know what's going on, let us know what you thought about what it is that I've shared. If you've been to Punta Cana, what has maybe been your experience as well. I would love to know your thoughts, and I would especially love to know if you have done any solo traveling again. And if you are now inspired to do so since watching this episode. Until next time, truth seekers, keep seeking, keep growing, and keep telling your truth, okay? Regardless of the circumstances. Get it out there, okay? I am Gigi Robinson. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon for another episode of the Truth Serum Show. Peace and love. I will see you guys soon. I did it. I did it. I did. I did. I did it. I did it. I did. I did it. Did it. Did it. I did it. Did it. Did it. I did it. Did it. Did it. I did it. Did it.